doing, we would do that together.
In your folder, there's a paper. Recitation.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Okay, friends, welcome to this last day of our weekend retreat. And let me see the hands of those who were not here yesterday. Just raise your hands if you were not here yesterday. So, we've already been spending the last day and a half developing our meditation, mindfulness, concentration. I'm not going to go over and repeat all the basic instructions I have given or repeated twice already. I think most of you already know the basics on meditation practice, but we've been using some practices of yoga, breathing, and exercise as a support for the meditation. And the meditation practice means developing mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. And it starts by getting grounded and focused in the body, which is the natural connection to the present moment. Because all of our problems of the whole world are problems of people's minds being obsessed and entrenched in the past and the future, and always going back to the past and the future to influence all of their actions of body and speech. So they're just recycling old stuff in their minds, and they cannot see clearly the present moment and see clearly the truth, because their mind is already so entrenched and clinging to their viewpoints, whether it's political viewpoints, religious viewpoints, philosophical viewpoints, and ideas. People get blindsided by this that conditioning, and it keeps them locked into a very narrow experience. So freeing the mind from that so-called landlocked conditioning of the mind is really the path to liberating the mind, and this is what the Buddha taught. So there's basic stages to the meditation. The first one is usually people's minds are just lost in the past and the future, and they're not really grounded and centered. So that's the source of all mistakes. Every single accident we've ever been in, or caused by others or caused by ourselves, is due to people not being mindful, whether it's cutting your finger and chopping your evening vegetables because you are lost in thoughts, or walking down a street and stepping in a pothole and twisting your ankle because you weren't watching where you were going, or driving your car and lost in your thought, or texting and almost hit somebody, a pedestrian, or somebody else hits you. And virtually every accident that causes problems, pain to our body as well as our mind is fundamentally because the mind has not been grounded and centered in the present moment and really knowing what one is doing or thinking at any one moment. So that's why the whole of the Buddhist teaching, and especially the practice of meditation, is learning how to get recentered, re-grounded in the body, which is the natural connection to the present moment. And whenever we just remember what the body is doing, kind of feeling the movements, and even just mentally remembering to yourself what you're doing, then the mind is basically in the present moment at that time. So just the simple fact of just when you're meditating, just remember, sitting, 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 or sitting, breathing, breathing in, sitting, breathing out, sitting. If a person could sit down or even stand and just keep remembering breathing in, sitting, breathing out, sitting, without the mind going to sleep, or without any thoughts carrying the mind away, you could get into the first jhana within 5 minutes. You would be in a very deep state of present moment awareness. It's that simple. I mean, it sounds simple. It's not simple, but because the habits and so on that we've cultivated. So anyway, this is what I had been talking about in the last couple of days, and that we used some practices of the yoga, breathing, and exercise to help get the mind to get out of being lost in the future or past, and get centered and grounded in the present moment. So whenever I mention the present moment, I mean being grounded and centered in the body, because that's our only connection to the present moment. It's the only thing that we have. From the moment you are born to the moment you die, the breathing body is always with you. That's the only thing that's reliable, because your dog is not always there. He runs out and runs around in the yard and things like that. Your cat's not always there. Even your husband, wife, or partner are not there. Your children, sometimes they all come and go. But your body is the only thing that doesn't come and go. It's always right there with you. It's like your pet dog that sits by your side. So our body is always right there, inviting you, come home, take a break from the past and future. Oh yes, sitting, sitting, sitting. It's not rocket science. Or standing, standing, standing. Or lifting my arm, turning the head. That's all it takes. And the mind is in the present moment. And the present moment is happiness. Because when the mind is in the present moment, it's not worrying about yesterday or tomorrow. And it's not planning the future, or it's not regurgitating old stuff from the past, or worrying about things you can't control. It's just there in the present moment. And it's so simple, actually, but yet so difficult. So the main hindrances to the meditation are sleepiness, physical pains, and just incessive thoughts. And what most people call meditation is just learning how to deal with those distractions, and to eventually to overcome them, and to learn the ways in which we can overcome those hindrances. Otherwise, the natural state of the mind is present moment awareness. The natural state of the mind is present moment awareness, except we've made our mind unnatural by obsessing in the future and trying to plan out a whole 50 years of our life, in advance, and then worrying about things that are not going to get there. Then things come up to disturb those plans anyway, and so on. So the uh, you know learning how to overcome those thoughts and to get regrounded in the body, because it's always there. So those hindrances, all of those things can be aided by first doing some yoga exercise and deep breathing or some kind of physical exercise. Because one of the reasons why for sleepiness is because the body is not receiving enough of its oxygen. We have billions of cells in the body. They all require oxygen to live and to do their work. So they're active and they can do their proper job in vibrating and interacting with other cells to keep this body alive. But it's a known fact that people only breathe a very small percentage of their lung capacity in their normal breathing. So the body basically is half starved of oxygen simply because of poor breathing habits, because no one's ever taught us proper breathing habits, except maybe yogis. And then the body is stiff. We don't get proper exercise. A lot of people say I get exercise. Oh, I go out and run 30 miles a day, or anyway, run and pump iron and all. But that's not the same as yoga exercise. All this emphasis on cardio, 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 even though, okay, cardio might be all right, but your spine is more important than cardio. And having a flexible spine, especially for meditation. We're talking about meditation. If people don't want to meditate, good, they don't have to do anything. But if you want to meditate and you want to have good success at meditation and not have to fight it all the time, then yoga and even things like Tai Chi or other things have been created especially for to aid the meditation. Anyway, these are basically the kind of things that I've been talking about in the last couple of days. This is a little review. But I wanted to talk about before we get into the meditation, dealing with the hindrances. So I mentioned that sleepiness is the worst of all the hindrances. Because when you start to meditate after a few minutes, for whatever reason, maybe you don't have enough concentration, the mind gets bored, but you start nodding out. How many people have ever done that in meditation? Okay. Even people who've been meditating for many years, right? Anyway, so, and that's mainly due to bad posture. So gravity is always pulling the posture down. And as I mentioned up before, meditation happens between your brain and your spinal column, because that's where we experience the world. The world comes through our senses, is relayed through the nervous system to the brain, where we have memory and cognition, and consciousness arises. So, but most people, when they meditate or in their normal lives, they're always slouching. And so when people meditate because of the weight of the body, and they haven't strengthened their back muscles and other muscles involved in sitting, the gravity starts pulling them down. And that's already the onset of sleepiness. That means you've lost your awareness, or you become lost in thought. So the best antidote for sleepiness is sitting straight. It's impossible to go to sleep if you're sitting really straight and the chin is lifted up level to the ground, because all the nervous system energy can freely circulate and get immediately up to the brain, where it stays alert. Otherwise, as soon as the head starts going down, it means it's like dimming down a dimmer switch on a light. It starts dimming down. That means the alertness. And when the head comes down, it pulls your shoulders and spine down like that. And before you know it, you're sitting like this, either half asleep or totally asleep or lost in your thoughts. So it's important to be mindful of that. That's why you have to be mindful, and why mindfulness of the body is really the most important aspect of meditation in the beginning, because the body is the access point to our mind. And if we're not grounded and centered in the body, you'll never be able to see your thoughts clearly, and so easily be dragged away and carried away in your thoughts, worries, fears, greed, and hatred, and so on. So that's why the posture, the Buddha emphasized the posture so much. Uh, so that's why the yoga exercises is good for helping to strengthen the muscles of especially of the spine and the neck. So in the in the practice that we've been doing, the posture is part of the important part of the mindfulness training, to be mindfulness of the posture, and sort of keeping the outline of the body in the mind's eye. And so if you have that outline of the body in the mind's eye and kind of just watching the body sitting and breathing, then as soon as the chin starts to go down, boom, mindfulness is right there. Chin drooping, chin drooping. And so you can mindfully lift it back up level and stay with your meditation concentration object. And when the chin goes down, that causes the spine to slouch. So when the spine starts slouching like that, again, the mindfulness can very quickly notice it and be aware of slouching. Take a deep breath. You come back up to a straight posture, and bingo, the mind brightens up immediately. And you can notice that in meditation. If you get yourself, sitting like this, and be aware of what your state of your mind is in, and then take a deep breath and slowly straighten back up. And it's like a light bulb being pulled on. When these chains you pull on and the light comes on. It's that dramatic of a difference. So the posture is half of the meditation. The other half is concentration. Uh, so that's one of the ways to try to deal with the sleepiness, and do deep, slow breathing. So if you're feeling sleepy, it's because most people, their breath is very shallow and their body is not, half starved. So if you do some deep, slow breathing, that means really taking a deep breath like this. Especially drawing air up into the upper part of the lobes, which sends blood up to the brain. Just doing that once or twice or three times, like it's like taking a shower in cool water, and really freshens you back up, and then you can go back into your meditation like that. And even if you had to do that, many times during one sitting, it's better than just spending most of the time like this and getting pains here and pains here, and being half asleep and blaming yourself because you couldn't stay awake. And so, meditation has to be a proactive. You have to be proactive in meditation. A lot of people think, oh, you don't have to do anything in meditation. Just sit, watch your breath, and don't do anything. No, you have to be proactive. Because if you don't, Mara's going to take over. If you're not proactive, Mara is waiting for the chance anytime. Sleepiness is waiting for the chance. Let's get him, or her, excuse me. Or restlessness. Think about this, think about that. That person insulted me. I did this and that. The mind rushes off. So you have to be, proactive with the hindrances in order so that you can apply the appropriate antidotes and keep coming back to lessen the amount of time that you're, lost in those hindrances. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Maybe some of the people who weren't here yesterday, what I've been talking about. Okay? You're good to go? Okay. So we're going to do like we've done before we start meditating. We're going to stand up. We're going to do a short session of some breathing and stretching. Again, just try to spread out a little bit as best you can so you have a little room to move your arms without hitting somebody beside you. Just try to keep your feet about 4 to 5 inches apart, feet parallel to each other. Try to stand straight. Just relax your shoulders and arms at the side. Just gently close your eyes. Feel your eyes resting in the eye socket. Try to feel your head balanced on top of the neck. Feel your face. Just mentally remind yourself of standing. Now we're going to slowly move our attention down through the body, feeling the different body parts. I feel the sensations in those places. Now just move the attention down to feel your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Let the weight of the arms pull the shoulders down to the relaxed position. Feel where the clothing rubs the skin of your shoulder. Feel that friction, sensation. Again, remember standing. And feel the weight of the arms hanging from the shoulders. Feel your hands and fingers. Feel the subtle pulse of blood in your fingers. Little tingling sensations. Letting the awareness move down to the legs. Feel your knees. Clothing touching the skin of your leg. Then feel your feet pressing the floor. Imagine the height and weight of the body pressing the feet to the ground. Feel the four bottoms of the feet pressing the floor. Feel your toes. Just remember standing. Present moment of the body. Now move the awareness back up and rest on the eyes again. Feel your eyes in the socket. From that point on the eyes, try to feel the outline of the standing body. Feel the head on top, the arms and hands at the sides, clothing touching the skin, feet pressing the floor. All of those different places create the outline of the standing body. Now begin some deep, slow breathing. Try to take 2 or 3 seconds to expand your abdomen, rib cage, and upper chest, drawing the air from the lower lung up to the top, and hold the air in for 2 or 3 seconds. Allow all the oxygen to get out into the bloodstream, and slowly breathe out. Try to feel the last bit of air going out of the lungs on the out. Just repeat that several more times, developing this mindfulness of breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath a second. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. And now we're going to combine this breathing with these movements. We do the movement while breathing in, holding the position while holding the air in the lungs. Then returning to the starting point to the opposite direction on the out breath. Repeating each one 3 times. The whole time, just keeping the mind focused on the body, feeling the sensations generated from the breathing and the movement. Just letting go of your thoughts, letting your thoughts come and go in the back of your mind. Keep the body and the sensation in front of the awareness. You can open your eyes and observe me as I lead you through this. So on the next in-breath, raise the arms over the head, interlock your fingers, turn the palms up, straighten your arms, stretch your head back, and stretch upward. Release your fingers and the out-breath, arms back to the side. Again, in-breath. Interlock the fingers, stretch up, bend back a little bit. Feel the arch of the lower spine. Feel the sensation. Out breath, arms back to the side. Once more, in. Stretch up, bend back a little more. Feel the sensation. Out breath. Close your eyes, relax. Just feel the increased body sensation, especially in your hands and fingers. Stretching the fingers, deep breathing. All those sensations are just activated cellular vibration. Sort of feel that outline of the body and the mind's eye. Remember standing. In the next in breath, we're going to lift up on the balls of the feet while raising the arms over the head in this way, facing the hands toward each other, and stretch up. The out breath, come back down. Use the in breath to help lift the body up, like blowing up a helium balloon. The body rises up, stretch. Once more. In. Spirit. Out. Relax. Close the eyes. Keep feeling the body. We see the outside world with our two fleshy eyes. The third eye of awareness. We can see and feel the inner world under the skin, life force vibration. We can even observe our thoughts moving through the mind. Most people know nothing about it. About present moment awareness, body-centered awareness. Next, we'll do side bending using both arms. On an in-breath, raise both arms up. Keep your fingers and arms straight, close to your head. On the out-breath, bend over your right side as far as you comfortably can. Keep the arms and hands parallel to each other like railroad tracks. In-breath, lift up. Then the other side, out-breath. In-breath. Again to the right, out-breath. In. Out. In. Once more to each side, out-breath. The out-breath, lower both arms. Close the eyes. Feeling the outline of the body. Body-centered awareness is like an inbuilt video camera. Videotape your body standing and breathing. Videotaping all the different sensations coming and going. Even videoing your thoughts coming and going. Standing, standing. And feel the increased heartbeat or pulsation, your prickly or itchy sensation. Body's totally alive with so many different kinds of sensations. Clothing touching the outer skin, subtler life force vibrations under the skin. The parallel universe of subtle vibration. Next, we're going to do squatting or knee bending. So on the next in-breath, again, lift up on the balls of the feet and raise your arms up front for balance. On the out-breath, bend your knees and lower down, balancing on the balls of the feet. Come down as far as you comfortably can into the squatting position. And take a deep breath, push up, feel the muscles in the legs, pushing the body up on the toes. and out breath. In, out. Out breath, relax. Feel the increased heartbeat, the pulsation. Keep the outline of the body in the mind's eye. Remember feeling, standing, breathing, standing, breathing. There's lots of thoughts running through your mind. Be aware of thinking, thinking, thinking. When you know that you're thinking, the thoughts will stop. Only when you don't know that you're thinking, you get lost and carried away in the thought. Next, we'll do head turning from right to left. On an in-breath, turn your head to the right as far as you comfortably can. Try to look over your right shoulder. Feel the twist in the neck. If you have a stiff neck, just be careful. The out-breath, turn all the way back to the left. Look over the left shoulder. In-breath, back to the right. Concentrate into the neck vertebrae. Imagine feeling them loosening up. Out breath left. In breath right. Out left. In the in breath, let the head stop in the middle. Feel the whole body. Head on top, arms at the sides, feet pressing the floor. Clothing touching the skin. Present moment, body centered awareness. Natural awareness. Standing, standing. Okay, now kind of spread your legs and feet about 3 feet apart. Wider the better. You have room. Try not to let your feet stick. We're going to do forward and backward bending to flex the spine forward and backward way. Because the spinal column is the most important set of bones in your whole body. Because everything, all the nervous system is located along the spine. And if the spine is stiff and not good energy flow through the spine, then everything else gets affected. So that's why in yoga, flexibility of the spine is the most important. Right? Anyway, let the hands touch the front of your legs and breathe in. Oh, just another note, just be careful with the back bends. If you have a bad back or a stiff back, then be careful, don't bend back too far. And especially when you lift up from a back bend, there could be a rush of energy come up. It could cause you some dizziness. So just don't bend back too far the first time. We'll breathe in. On the out breath, bend forward, keep your head lifted up, let your hands slide to your kneecaps the first time, and then flatten your spine. Feel the stretch in the legs. In breath, lift up. Move the hands under the buttocks for support. Let your head go back. On the out breath, gently bend backwards, not too far. Keep your eyes open. In breath, carefully lift up. And again, out breath, forward. Let the hands come below your knees. Still keep the head up, legs straight. Feel the extra stretch in the hamstring muscles. In breath, lift up. Again, the back bends, be careful, out breath. In breath, lift up. And the third time, let your hands come down as far as you can towards your ankles or feet. Then hold on to your legs or ankles or feet longer. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Let the little bones in the lower spine stretch out. Feel those sensations. Okay. Begin lifting up, the in-breath. And once more, the back bend, just be careful. In-breath, lift up. On the out-breath, relax your shoulders and arms. Close the eyes, feel each foot pressing the floor. Feel the sensations of the legs spread apart. Feel the hands touching the upper legs. Feel the clothing touching the skin. Feel your face. Skin stretched over the front of the skull. Lots of sensations on the face, prickly sensation. Feel the eyes and the socket. Feel the subtle eye movement. Feel the outline of the whole body. Just this body exactly as it is, here and now. Present moment, body-centered awareness. Is the mind happy with the present moment? Or does it want something else? Okay, now bring your legs and feet closer together. Again, just feel the body. Now, having done those exercises in breathing, how many would feel a more dramatic or intense kind of aliveness in the body? So that's one of the main, aside from the health benefits of doing that for meditation, that's one of the main purposes of doing it, because that becomes your focus when you sit down to, in sitting meditation, your mind is already there. It doesn't have to fight so much to get focused and centered, because of those sensations are enough to hold your attention. And the reason why people go to sleep is because they don't have nothing interesting to observe. So the mind gets bored and goes to sleep. When you feel all those sensations all over, it keeps you really wide awake. And then that's what helps you to observe your thoughts, because thoughts are arising at the same level of those kind of internal body sensations. So if we're aware of those, then it'll be easier to, when thoughts come up, you can be, thinking, let go of it, and keep your mind centered. That's one of the main points and benefits of doing it. Okay, so let's sit back down, get into your sitting posture. And just get comfortable in the sitting posture. If you're sitting in a chair, I would advise try not to kind of lean back on the chair, because that'll cause you to perhaps get sleepy. You don't want to be too relaxed, otherwise the mind goes to sleep and gets lost in its thoughts. So the effort to sit straight is going to help keep you awake, even though it might create some discomforts or some pains. At least those will help to keep you awake as well. You can learn to tolerate and endure discomforts, small pains like that. So first of all, just to focus the attention on the eyes. Try to feel that outline of the straight posture. Just keeping your chin lifted up level with the floor. Just feel the head balanced on the spinal column. And again, we're going to move the attention down to the body, just feeling the different body parts, places. Now, in the Just feel the sensations on your face, the subtle little prickly sensation. Feel your lips touching together. Feel the dryness or the moistness of the lips. Just try and feel your tongue inside the mouth. Your tongue might touch your teeth, the inside of the mouth. And let the attention move down again to feel the shoulders. Just relax the shoulders. Just going to keep the shoulders back a little bit so the upper chest stays open. Just remember sitting, sitting. Feel the weight of the arms hanging from the shoulders. Feel the clothing touching the skin of your chest. Maybe take a deep, slow breath in the chest to feel that expansion and the clothing rubbing against the skin of the chest. Hold the area in a few seconds to feel those sensations. Slowly breathe out. Move your attention down to the stomach. Feel the clothing touching the stomach or abdomen. Take a deep, slow breath in the lower lung. The in-breath, gently push out the stomach out and downwards. Feel the clothing rubbing on the skin. And the out-breath, gently pulling the stomach in and up to get all the air out. Now move your attention to feel the buttocks pressing the seat. Feel or imagine that 100 or more pounds of body pressing the buttocks on the seat. Then feel the natural inward curve of the lower lumbar spine. The inward curve of the spine is very important because it supports the weight of the upper body. That inward curve starts bulging outwards, then gravity pulls the top of the body downward, creating all kinds of discomforts and pain. Now feel your hands and fingers and thumbs. See if you can feel the outline of your thumbs, where your thumbs might touch together. Just feel the subtle pulse of blood or tingling sensation in your thumbs or other fingers. Feel the subtle warmth in the palms of the hand. Notice all these sensations at a very deep level of concentrated awareness. Just allow the awareness to move down your legs to your knees. Feel the clothing stretched over the hard bone of the kneecap. If you have any pains in the knees, just feel those sensations. And moving the attention down the legs toward your feet. Then feel your feet. There's lots of sensations in our feet. As the blood has to run all the way from the heart down to the feet, the toes, and turn around and go back up. There's always pulsation and sensation in the feet, let alone pounding the ground many hours a day, walking or standing. Just feel that life force in your feet. Just remember sitting, sitting. Now let the awareness kind of come back up to rest behind the eyes again, on the eyes. Turn back on the video camera. Feel the outline of the sitting body. All those different places we just went through. All of them make up the outline of the body. Like you are looking into a full-length mirror. And then it begins some deep, slow breathing or the three-part breathing again to reoxygenate the sitting body. It's developing this mindfulness of breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath in a moment. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Feeling the last bit of air go out. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. And now we're going to count our breaths from 1 to 10 to try to develop a more continuous concentration on the breathing. Keep your attention focused in the center of the body. Feel the expanding and contracting sensations. I'll do the counting for you. Just try to follow that with your breathing and concentration. So with the next expanding in breath, mentally count to 1. Hold the air a second. With the contracting out breath, also count to 1. Feel the last bit of air go out. Next in breath, 2. Out breath, 2. In 3. Out 3. In 4. out 4, in 5, out 5, in 6, out 6, in 7, out 7, in 8, out 8, in 9, out 9, in 10, out 10. Now discontinue the counting. Let your breathing return to its uncontrolled, shorter, irregular rhythm. But keep observing it. Keep your attention focused in the center of the body. You can keep that outline of the body in the mind's eye. Just keep remembering breathing. Just know when you're breathing in, knowing when the breath is going out. That knowing is the alert attention, the alert focused attention. Try to tune in to the 4 phases of each breath cycle. The expanding in breath and the brief pause. The contracting out the breath and the brief pause. Just over and over and over again. You can use these mental reminders to help remember in sitting, out sitting. It's the ongoing, continuous, present moment of the body. You feel like being a scientist looking down through a microscope, focusing in on the breathing process. So you can see the subtle details, all the subtle different sensations. Especially be alert for the pauses between the breaths. After the in-breath, there's a brief pause. After the out-breath, a brief pause. Even if it's just a fraction of a second, to notice that as a deep awareness. Normally we never know that. Sometimes the pauses are even longer, 1 or 2 seconds. In those pauses between the breaths, you can easily feel that outline of the body, feel those subtle vibrations. But at the same time, be alert for thoughts trying to sneak in and steal your attention away. Keep coming back to the breathing. In sitting. Out, sitting. Breath by breath, moment by moment. Keep turning up the power of the mental microscope to notice subtler sensations, details, or to notice how each breath is different. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. Sometimes you feel the sensations and more in the abdomen. Sometimes you feel it more in the chest. You might even feel the air moving through the nostrils. Sometimes the pauses between the breaths are longer and shorter. It's called mindfulness of breathing. In the pauses between the breaths, check your posture. The chin is drooping down, or the spine is slouching. Take a deep, slow breath, mindfully straighten the body back up. Feel the difference in the slouching position as opposed to sitting straight. If the mind has become more calm and centered in the body, breathing, gradually opening up the awareness to feel other sensations in the body coming and going, itchy, prickly sensations, any minor aches or pain. Feel the clothing touching the skin of the body in the background, even while being aware of the breathing. Gradually expanding the field of awareness from just the breathing to the larger body. Noticing more and more sensation coming and going. The breathing is always there in the center. It's the stabilizing point. Also, being alert, noticing the stream of thoughts moving through the back of the mind. There's a continuous stream of thoughts moving through the unconscious mind, waiting to rush in and get you caught up in all kinds of thoughts and worries. But if you're centered in the body, you'll be able to notice those thoughts. Just thinking, letting them go, not being pulled out of the stream of awareness. Anytime the mind becomes dull or too many thoughts, come back and do some more deep, slow breathing. The 3-part breathing, reoxygenate the bloodstream, help stay more awake, centered in the body. If any sounds attract your attention, just understand that as just hearing. It's just sound vibrations coming in one ear, out the other. Don't create storylines or dramas out of sound. When pains arise, be aware of the mind's reaction to the pain. Wish to become free from it. Or any urge to move. Be aware of urging, or wanting. Stay relaxed. Just relax the body around the pain. Just let it kind of move around, come to a peak, decrease, maybe vanish. All those pains and sensations are impermanent. Most of them won't hurt you. If you don't pay attention to them, most of them vanish quite quickly. Just maintain that connection deep in the breathing body. Feel the pleasant sensations around that inner tranquility, those pleasant, subtle vibrations throughout the body. And the breathing just keeps going in and out. That connection to the breathing body is the mind's lifeline or life preserver to the present moment. If we lose that connection to the breathing body, the mind gets easily lost and carried away in the waves and storms of neurotic thinking, fear, worry, anxiety, greed, hatred, delusion. That consistent, continuous connection to the present moment of the body keeps the mind floating on the waves of impermanence without sinking. Even all those different kinds of thoughts or ideas moving through your mind are just like mental bubbles, just mind created bubbles floating through awareness. They can't hurt you unless you grasp at them, identify them, go on thinking about them. It's like those bubbles that you blew as a child, soap bubbles. Thoughts don't have any more reality than those. Although they terrorize people because they don't understand the nature of thought. If you have a good awareness of sensations, thoughts, sounds coming and going, and just try to become like an empty house with nobody at home to answer the call, knocking on the doors and windows. But there's a sensitive microphone in the house that knows but doesn't know. Knows but can't react. That awareness is wisdom awareness. Present moment, body centered awareness. Natural wisdom. Especially be alert how quickly certain sensations or sounds just arise and vanish very quickly. That's the perception of impermanence. Noticing how quickly everything is just changing, arising, and vanishing through the body and mind, body sensations, sounds, thoughts. Just powered on through the force of past accumulated habits and karmic energized habits. Is there really a self or I that owns our mind or body? Even the sense of I, me, or mine is just a habit addiction. Created since birth. So what thoughts are triggered off based on that sound vibration? Don't let the mind rush to the future. Stay with the body. We're going to mindfully transition from the sitting position to stretching out the legs and standing up. But first of all, just mindfully place your hands at the edge of your knees and take a deep, slow breath. And on the in breath, stretch your head back and pull the hands against your knees to arch your spine. Look up at the ceiling and let the breath out. On the next in breath, lift the head up. On the out breath, press the chin to the little notch at the top of the chest to stretch the neck vertebrae. Lift the head up level on an in breath. Relax on the out breath. Now slowly, mindfully begin unfolding your legs to relieve any discomfort, pains, feel the changing sensations. If you're sitting on a chair, try to stretch your legs out as much as you can. Sit forward on the edge of your seat. You can straighten your legs better. And then flex your toes a few times. The toes and arches of the feet. Bring the blood back into the legs if you've gone to sleep, or even if you haven't. And make some circular movements with your feet and ankles to loosen up the ankle. A few times in each direction, mindfully. Now we'll do the yogic forward stretch. Place the hands together at the chest. The in-breath, hands over the head. On the out-breath, touch the chest and reach forward. You hold on to your toes. Pull the hands on the feet. Stretch out the spine. Especially those little bones in the lower spine. Stretch out. The spinal column joins the sacrum bones. People are usually very stiff in that area. The bones need to be loosened up. Feel all those sensations. Breathe in, sit up. Just rest your hands on the knees, close your eyes. Start to feel the outline of the body exactly as it is. Head balanced on top. Hands touching the knees, buttocks pressing the seat, clothing touching the skin, heels pressing the floor. Just videotape your body sitting just like the natural inbuilt video camera. Sitting. You're aware of the urge or the rush to do something else. Relax. Now mindfully draw your feet up one at a time towards your mat or cushion. And place your hands down on the floor or your mat and kind of try to push yourself up onto the balls of your feet into the squatting position. Place your hands on the floor. Place the palms of the hands flat out on the floor like the feet of a duck. Just mentally feel that posture in the mind's eye. Might be some pains. And then on an in breath, feel the muscles in the legs pushing the body up as you slowly stand up. Just be careful and be aware of any dizziness or rest of sensations. You straighten up. And take a deep breath, pull your shoulders back, kind of look up a little bit, push out the chest. The out breath, relax, feel those sensations. Take a few three-part breaths, deep, slow breaths, letting the oxygenated blood flow through the standing body. Just breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. A wonderful present moment. Breathing in, standing. Breathing out, standing. Feeling those life force sensations bubbling, fizzing throughout the whole body. Clothing touching the outer skin, life force sensations under the skin. Try to imagine or feel that you are standing on a vibrating machine. Feeling all those vibrations from the soles of your feet up to the top of the head, all points in between. Clothing touching the outer skin, the billions of cells under the skin. Present moment, body-centered awareness, the happy place. People are always talking about going to their happy place. This is the happy place. Body-centered, present moment awareness. Happiest place on earth and beyond. Present moment. Okay, now we're going to go outside to do some walking awareness outside. For those who were here the last uh, couple of days, or for the first day, gave us detailed instruction on the walking. If you, the way I have people do it is maybe a little different than what you might have learned in different places. But so if you weren't here a day and you want to hear those uh, instructions, you can stay back a few minutes. Or if you know some other form of walking and you want to do that, that's okay. But anyway, the main thing is to go outside, breathe some fresh air, just be with the body, be in the present moment, feel the vibrations of nature, the coolness or warmth on the skin, and hear the sounds of nature, the inner nature in your own body, and the outer nature. And stop once in a while to just stand and feel that. Do some deep, slow breathing, 3-part breathing. Okay? So we're going to be doing that until when you hear a gong, and you can come back inside. So if anybody wants me to have those brief instructions, you can stay here a moment. The others can start going outside to do that.